What has been the toughest thing about playing with LeBron James?
I wouldn't say any toughest.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Oh.
That's just the answer I was looking for right there. It's not tough. It should be easy to play with him.
When Luka Doncic sat down with Snoop Dogg for what seemed like a casual interview, nobody expected him to drop a line that would expose the biggest divide in NBA culture right now. He's talking about LeBron James, praising his longevity, and then says something that makes you stop and think. I might not be able to walk no more at 23 seasons, Luka admits with a laugh. But here's the thing, that wasn't just a throwaway comment. That was Luka telling you exactly what kind of player he is. And it's the complete opposite of what we're seeing in today's NBA. Because while LeBron is celebrating making it to year 23, Luka just revealed why he might never get there. And before you think that's a bad thing, let me show you why it might be the most championship-minded thing an NBA player has said in years.
Just wants to be great, man. Just talk about his 23rd season. I said I might not be able to walk no more at 23rd season, and he's still doing it at the best of the best.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell that is. Where is it going? And that's number one. And number two, how do we get it back?
Even for me, I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of load management. It's hurting the game.
So here's what happened. Snoop asked Luka what it's like playing with LeBron James, and Luka gives the expected answer. He praises LeBron, talks about how insane it is that he's still dominating in his 23rd season. Standard stuff, right? Then Luka asks this line that changes everything. He jokes about how he might not even be able to walk by year 23. And the way he says it, you can tell he's not really joking. He's being honest. Luka knows what he's doing to his body. He knows the price he's paying, and he's okay with it. Because when Snoop brings up championships, notice what Luka says first. Kobe brought so many championships here. LeBron brought a championship here. Did you catch that? Kobe brought many. LeBron brought one. That's not a shot at LeBron. That's Luka showing you who he studied. That's Luka revealing who his real blueprint is. And when Snoop shows him those championship rings, spinning them around, talking about bringing magic to LA, Luka doesn't talk about longevity. He didn't mention playing into his 40s. He talks about one thing, getting that ring.
That's amazing to know that you had a relationship with Kobe Bryant and now you playing with LeBron James in the building that means so much to us in LA. Does any of that go through your head while you playing and on a mission for a championship, thinking about that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kobe brought so many championships here. LeBron brought a championship here, so I want to be the next one to do it for sure. But just, I met Kobe, I playing with LeBron. Just as a little kid in Slovenia, I just wanted to play basketball. Just wanted to touch the NBA, and now I'm playing with the best.
Even as a new father with a daughter on the way, even with everything to live for outside basketball, Luka's focus is crystal clear. Championships over everything. But here's where it gets interesting. Because Luka's playing style right now is proving something that nobody in the modern NBA wants to admit. There are two completely different paths to greatness in this league, and only one of them leads to multiple championships. Let me break down what we're really looking at here. On one side, you've got the longevity approach. This is the modern NBA philosophy. Preserve your body, play the long game, make it to year 20 plus, collect the counting stats, break all the records. LeBron James is the master of this approach. He's strategic about when he plays. He manages his minutes. He sits out games when he's healthy if the schedule is tough. And you know what? It's working. The man is 40 years old and still putting up numbers. He's going to own every longevity record in NBA history. But then there's the other approach, the old school mentality, the Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan way of doing things. You play every single game like it's your last. You don't ask for rest. You play through injuries that would sideline most players. You sacrifice your body completely for championships. And here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. This approach destroys you physically, but it wins more rings. Look at the numbers and you see what I'm talking about. Kobe Bryant played 20 seasons, and by the end, his body was completely shot. He tore his Achilles at 34. He could barely move by 37. His final season was painful to watch. But here's what he walked away with: 5 championship rings. 5 times he stood on that stage and held up the Larry O'Brien trophy. Michael Jordan played 15 seasons, took breaks in between, and retired at 40. After a brief comeback, his knees were gone. He couldn't jump anymore, but he left with 6 rings. 6 times he proved he was the best player on the planet when it mattered
But
most.
you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit out? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twisted my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. This is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
Now compare that to
LeBron. He's in year 23 right now. His body is still in amazing shape for his age. He's going to play more games than anyone in NBA history. He's going to score more points than anyone ever has. But he has 4 rings, 4 championships, and 23 seasons playing with multiple all-stars at super teams throughout his career. So here's the question nobody wants to ask out loud. What's more impressive, playing more years or winning more championships?
I competed hard. I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. I played injured, and I played with a lot of pride. So I owe everything to the NBA.
Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnsons, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley's, we earned what we got. When the corporate America came to us, we had a game that could validate their admiration and
sponsorship and all that, yeah.
Now they get that before they play one game.
Yeah.
So you're rolling the dice to see if this kid's ever going to be good or not.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're paying the kid off of potential.
Yeah.
That he may be great.
You don't think that's good?
No, because I think it sets bad work ethic. When you get something so easily, you're not going to work as hard.
Now let's talk about what Luka
Doncic actually did this season, because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we see which path Luka has chosen. And spoiler alert, he's not on the LeBron longevity plan. He's on the Kobe sacrifice everything plan. Luka missed 18 games this season. That sounds bad until you realize something crucial. Every single one of those games was because of actual injuries. 0 load management games, 0 rest days, 0 we're being cautious games. Luka played through a calf strain that should have kept him out for weeks. He played through a knee injury that had him limping up and down the court. He literally left the arena on crutches after one game and still pushed to come back early. And here's the kicker. He lost MVP eligibility because of it. The NBA has this rule now where you need to play 65 games to qualify for MVP. It's designed to stop load management. But Luka didn't miss games for load management. He missed them because he played so hard through injuries that his body finally forced him to sit. He sacrificed his MVP candidacy because he refused to sit out games when his team needed him. Think about that for a second. LeBron has never had this problem. LeBron manages his body so well that he always hits those game thresholds. He's strategic about it. But Luka played so hard that he literally couldn't play anymore. And even then, even when his team went 6-2 without him and proved they could win, he rushed back. He couldn't stand watching from the sidelines. This is the Kobe mentality in action. This is what it looks like when a player cares more about being there for every battle than preserving himself for the long war. And here's what makes it controversial. We don't know yet if this approach is smarter or dumber. We won't know for another decade. But what we do know is this. The players who took this approach in the past won more championships. That's just a fact. Kobe's body gave out at 37, but he got 5 rings. Jordan's body gave out, but he got 6. LeBron's body is still going strong, but he's sitting at 4. So which approach actually produces more championships? Here's something most people don't know about Luka. He met Kobe Bryant when he was just a kid, before he was an NBA star, before he was a lottery pick, before any of this happened. Luka crossed paths with the Black Mamba, and you can tell it left an impression, Because when Luka talks about Lakers championships in that Snoop interview, listen to his exact words again. Kobe brought so many championships here. You know, LeBron brought a championship here. That word choice matters. Kobe brought many. LeBron brought a championship. Luka could have said both brought championships. He could have said they both won titles, but he didn't. He separated them, and he mentioned Kobe first. Now think about what Kobe's final seasons looked like. The man played his last game on a torn rotator cuff. He played an entire season on basically no knees. He couldn't jump anymore. He could barely move laterally. But he showed up for all 82 games in some seasons because that's what you did. That's what champions did. You didn't ask for rest. You didn't load manage. You played through everything because your teammates and your fans deserved that. And here's what made Kobe different from LeBron in this regard. Kobe's teammates watched him destroy his body for championships. They saw him play through injuries that should have ended his season. They saw him refuse to sit out. That builds a culture that creates an expectation. When your best player never takes a night off, nobody else can either. When your superstar is playing on one leg in the playoffs, how can you complain about being tired? Compare that to what LeBron's teammates see. They watch him sit out games when he's healthy because it's a back-to-back. They see him take rest days for load management. Kobe created something at the Lakers that transcended basketball. He created a standard, and that standard was simple. You show up, you play hurt, you never make excuses, and you win championships or die trying. That's why he has 5 rings. That's why his teammates would run through walls for him. Luka talks about wanting to be the next one to bring a championship to LA. He mentions Kobe and LeBron both winning there. But based on how he's playing right now, based on how he's willing to sacrifice his body, based on his refusal to load manage, even when it cost him MVP eligibility, Luka's following the Kobe blueprint, not the LeBron one. All right, here's where we get into the stuff that's gonna make some people upset. But these are legitimate questions that deserve answers, and the only way we're gonna figure out what path is better is by asking them. First question, if LeBron James had played with Kobe Bryant's mentality, would he have more than 4 rings right now? Think about it. LeBron has played with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and Anthony Davis. He's played on super teams for most of his career. He's had the talent around him, but he's also missed games for rest and load management throughout his career, especially in recent years. What if he played all 82 games every season like Kobe did? What if he never took a night off? Would he have 6 rings by now? 7? We'll never know the answer, but it's worth thinking about. Because the counter argument is that by preserving his body, LeBron has been able to compete for championships across 3 different decades. That's the longevity approach. You stay healthy longer, so you get more chances. But does having more chances matter if you don't convert them at the same rate? Second question, is making it to year 23 actually impressive if you sat out 50-plus games along the way to get there? Now, LeBron's going to break every longevity record in NBA history. Most games played, most minutes played, most years in the league. But how many of those records would he have if he played every game like Jordan and Kobe did? And does it even matter? Are longevity records the ones we should care about, or are championship rings the only stat that truly measures greatness? Here's a third question that really gets to the heart of it. What would Kobe Bryant say about load management? We actually kind of know the answer to this one, because Kobe talked about it before he passed away. He didn't come out and directly criticize players for resting, but he made his philosophy clear. He said he played hurt because he never wanted to let his teammates down. He said sitting out when you can play is disrespectful to the fans who paid to see you. He built his entire legacy on the idea that you show up no matter what. So what would he say about a player sitting out a game healthy because it's the second night of a back-to-back? What would he say about load management protocols? I think we all know the answer, and I think Luka knows it too. That's why he's playing through injuries instead of resting. That's why he lost MVP eligibility for playing too hard. He's following the Kobe code. Fourth question, and this one's probably the most controversial. Did the era matter? In the 90s and 2000s, if you sat out games when you weren't seriously injured, you were called soft. Your manhood was questioned. Fans and media crushed you. That was the culture. But in the 2010s and 2020s, if you don't rest and manage your body strategically, you're called stupid and short-sighted. The culture completely flipped. So which era was right? Which culture produced more killers? Which mentality led to more championships? Look at the champions from each era. The 90s had Jordan and the Bulls playing every game, winning 6 rings. The 2000s had Kobe and Shaq, then Kobe and Powell playing through everything, winning 5 rings with Kobe. The 2010s and 2020s, the Warriors won with the motion offense and load management. The Raptors won with Kawhi Leonard, who barely played all season. The Bucks won, the Nuggets won, but none of those teams built dynasties like the Bulls and Lakers did. None of those players became mythical figures like Jordan and Kobe. Maybe that's coincidence. Or maybe there's something about the sacrifice, about the refuse to sit mentality that builds legendary status in a way that the smart preserve your body approach just can't match. Fifth and final question. Does your best player's approach to the regular season affect championship culture? When LeBron sits out a game healthy and his teammates see it, what message does that send? Compare that to Kobe's teammates watching him play on one leg, watching him push through pain, watching him refuse to take a night off. Which situation creates a tougher, more resilient team culture? I'm not saying there's a right answer to any of these questions, but they're worth asking because what Luka is doing right now, playing through injuries, sacrificing MVP candidacy, refusing to load manage, that's a direct statement about which path he believes leads to championships. Here's why all of this matters for Lakers fans specifically. Luka Doncic is 25 years old, and he's already on a collision course with his own body. He's playing the way Kobe played. He's refusing to sit out. He's prioritizing winning over preservation.
And he just told Snoop Dogg that his goal is to bring a championship to LA. But here's the clock that's ticking. Luka has maybe a 10-year window before his body breaks down if he keeps playing like this. Kobe's body started falling apart around age 34. His Achilles tear at 34 was the beginning of the end. If Luka follows the same path, that means Lakers fans have until he's about 35 to win championships with him. That's a decade. That sounds like a long time, but in NBA years, it's a narrow window. The Lakers just traded for Luka. They have LeBron in year 23. They have Anthony Davis. The pieces are there, but the window is shorter than people think. Because if Luka keeps sacrificing his body the way he is now, this isn't going to be a 15-year partnership. This is going to be an intense, burn bright and fast partnership, just like Kobe's peak years. And honestly, maybe that's exactly what Lakers fans want. Maybe they don't want another player who's going to prioritize making it to year 23. Maybe they want someone who's going to leave everything on the court, someone who's going to play hurt, someone who's going to build that Mamba mentality culture again. Luka's already showing he's that guy. Think about what happens if Luka stays healthy these next 3 years. The Lakers could genuinely compete for 3 championships in a row. But it requires Luka continuing to play the way he's playing now, refusing to load manage, showing up for every big game, sacrificing his body when necessary. If he switches to the longevity approach, if he starts preserving himself, the Lakers might get more years out of him, but they might not get that championship urgency. This is the trade-off. You want Kobe's mentality? You get Kobe short and prime. You want LeBron's longevity? You get fewer championships per year. Luka has already chosen. The question is whether Lakers fans are ready for what that choice means. So, let's bring this all together. When Luka Doncic said he might not be able to walk by year 23, he wasn't making a joke. He was telling you the price of greatness the old school way. He was revealing which path he's chosen. And it's not the modern path. It's not the smart preserve your body play until you're 45 path. It's the Kobe path, the Jordan path, the sacrifice everything for championships path. LeBron James is going to finish with more years played than anyone in history. He'll have every longevity record. He'll probably finish with 5 or maybe even 6 rings before it's over. And that's an incredible career. But Kobe Bryant finished with 5 rings in fewer years and became a god in Los Angeles. Michael Jordan finished with 6 rings and became the basketball icon for an entire generation. Their shortened peaks didn't hurt their legacies. It enhanced them because they burned so bright while they were at the top. Luka Doncic has already made his choice. He's 25 years old and he's already playing like his body is disposable. He's already prioritizing championships over career length. He's already following the Kobe blueprint instead of the LeBron one. And based on history, based on the numbers, based on what we've seen from the players who took this approach before, he might end up with more rings because of it. The question isn't whether Luka's approach is right or wrong. The question is what you value more as a fan. Do you want your superstar to play 23 years and be strategic about when he competes? Or do you want him to give you everything he's got right now, burn out at 35, and leave behind a mountain of championship banners? Luka has already answered that question for himself. And if you're a Lakers fan, you better hope he stays on this path, because the Kobe way might destroy his body by his mid-30s, but it's the same way that brought 5 championships to LA. And right now, watching Luka refuse to load manage, watching him play through injuries, watching him lose MVP eligibility because he played too hard, that looks a lot more like the foundation of a dynasty than it does mistake. So comment below and let me know, which path do you respect more? The player who makes it to year 23 by preserving his body? Or the player who sacrifices everything for championships and retires early? Because in the end, both paths lead to greatness. They just define greatness differently. And the path Luke is on right now is the one that historically has led to more championship parades. If you're a Lakers fan, That's exactly what you should want. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're breaking down the real stories behind the headlines. And trust me, Luka's journey is just getting started.